What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Paste Studio here in Midtown Manhattan, New York City. We are broadcasting to you live from the Manhattan Center here on 34th Street as always. And we're joined right now by a very special group of New Yorkers. This is Karikatura. What's going on, guys?
How you doing?
Hey.
Nice, yeah. The crowd goes wild. The arena full of 5,000 people is just like beside itself. You guys have a new record coming out, first in a few years. It's called Ghostlight. It comes out this Friday, which is April 27th. And we're really excited to hear 3 new songs from this record. A couple, I think, have been released. They're out in the world. One that has not, and it's going to be a first time for me. So that's cool. So let's get it started off with one of these songs, man. Tell me a little bit about what we're doing first.
This one's called Papercut. It's the first track on the album, and it kind of sets the vibe of the album. It's sort of about that feeling like when you've been away for a while and you come home and you realize you're kind of like a ghost in somebody else's life that you've been living with. And you kind of got to pick the pieces back up.
All right.
I lie awake and think of you. Now I've got that summer feeling. I'm sweating through the sleepless nights. These careless hands have made a mess and turned our dreams into regrets. And now all that's left, I'm nothing, nothing. I'm stumbling around, our memories surround me, and I'm struggling and just holding it down, keeps trickling out of me. Started as a paper cut, didn't even notice. I never felt so ghostly. Guess it was a deeper cut. Yeah. We had a good thing going, but in the heat of a moment, broke it. We had a good thing going, and no, we are going back. Nothing. I'm stumbling around, our memories surround me, and I'm struggling and just holding it down, keeps trickling out of me. Thanks.
Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. So tell me about this record. It's called Ghostlight. It comes out this week, April 27th, and it's your first in some time. Eyes Wide came out in 2014, and that record, for those who heard it, they know like it was a record that sounded like it had been almost sort of made on the road. There were a lot of international sounds. I know you guys started this band with kind of the purpose of traveling around and absorbing a lot of music from around the world. But it did also kind of feel filtered through the New York City kind of lens. And this one, I've heard only the first couple songs off of it. And immediately, it sounded a little bit more personal on this record. The sounds are a little bit different too. So now that you made that record in 2014, it sounded sort of like what it was. What is this album, like these 4 years later, in terms of what you guys were going for, on the record?
Yeah. Well, since the last record, we've gotten to travel to even more places than we'd been before and reached higher highs. And at the same time, we've struggled harder than we've ever struggled before. And so I think that this record is really an effort to like lean into that and not paint over the fact that being away from people you love is really hard. Feeling uprooted all the time is really hard. And how can we, and the world's changed a lot in the past few years, and I think it's feeling really hard for a lot of people right now. So really trying to find what keeps us going, what's the little light that keeps us going at night, that keeps us making music and keeps us trying to strive for better times. Yeah,
and was that something that did change a little bit from the leading up to making the first one in 2014, and from that period to now? I mean, did you find that what motivated you to do it, or what the ideas were that were becoming songs, were changing a lot?
Yeah, you want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, so actually, in between these two albums, we actually put out an EP in 2016 called Speak Now. And that was that first time where we really started actually like messing with the concept of a live band and kind of like started chopping up our own performances in the studio. We had a rapper on that, and that was also talking more about some more social issues kind of going on that we were dealing with personally and also observing. And so for this record, we kind of threw away the concept of like we have to be a live band in the studio, So we really used the studio as our instrument, as our paintbrush, and like we wrote songs just for this record. We spent a lot of time away from the road to kind of write it, and then later we figured out how to play the songs.
Yeah.
So like that was a really different process for us this time around as well.
Yeah, cool. I want to ask you more about sort of how this record got made, because it does seem to have, like, there does seem to have been sort of a step forward from the first record I knew, the LP, to this one in terms of the sounds that are coming at me. But before we do, let's play another song. Tell me a little bit about what's coming up next.
This one's called Wasted Time. It's just another one of those late night jams where you're questioning everything. And interpret it how you will. This time is wasted with my mind in places I can never be. All of this time I could have been loving you, could have been loving you, could have been loving you. This time is wasted. One of these days I'll slow down. All of this time could have been loving you, could have been loving you, yeah, could have been loving you.
Thank you, guys. So I wanted to ask you about, the sounds on this record. That song, Wasted Time, actually reminds me more of the old record, the previous record, than the first song I heard from this one, which is called I'll Make Room, which I think is coming up next. When I heard that one, at first I was like, man, this is like almost not a whole new sound, but it seemed like there was a lot more going on in terms of production and arrangement. There's a lot more like electronic elements. It's a dancier, kind of more R&B sort of sound. And so I was wondering immediately, like, was that a deliberate move for you guys? Were you trying to were you trying new things in the studio, working with more machines as you kind of went along in this one?
Sure, I'll jump in here. Definitely, we spent a lot of time in the studio at actually Dima's studio, Horosho Records in Long Island City, and that was just a totally different process for us because we had our own space. So a lot of late nights just trying things, and in this song we're going to play, I'll Make Room, there's this section at the end that we've been talking about as the space chord kind of tribute to Sun Ra moment, but that never would have happened if we had just booked some studio time and gone in and played it. It was really something that we developed through improvisation, through experimentation, and accidents, happy accidents. So yeah, I think, there was a lot of conscious thought put into the sound and the feeling of this record. We wrote 40 songs and there are, 9 on the record.
Yeah.
So, it was very much intentional, to try to find a new space to make music.
Yeah. I was thinking specifically about, there's that section of I'll Make Room. I guess I felt it was sort of in the middle of the song. Maybe it was closer to the end. Where you guys sort of like drift into this like electronic, this sort of space chord, and wondering like, was that something that was part of the blueprint going in?
Yeah, no, for sure. We that one in particular, like we definitely planned that out, and we wanted that kind of moment, and we've been hearing those kind of moments on records that we love. But I also just want to say, like, we didn't lose our sound completely. Like we were often influenced by a lot of different styles, and I feel like this time we really tried to weave those in. So like in the same song, I'll Make Room, there's like a guiro pattern, like a cumbia guiro pattern kind of going throughout, and like you wouldn't listen to it and say this is cumbia, but like those elements have been woven into it, and we try to build on that and kind of make it something new in our own.
Yeah. Was there something you guys like specifically kind of came together around when you were first starting out? Obviously, there's a big ska kind of anchor to this. Were you guys like all NYC ska kids?
Not at all, actually.
No?
I started the band about 9 years ago, and I actually played metal for about 15 years, and those were all my friends. And then I got roped into being in a ska band, actually, and that was the first time I ever played with horns, and I kind of fell in love with it, and so I went to travel, and when I came back to New York, I had to find all new friends. And so I went on Craigslist, and I'm serious. That's bad.
Good place to go for
I found Ryan. Casual Encounters was a little tough.
Casual Encounters was me. That was me.
Anyways, I found a lot of these guys on there, and actually a lot of some of us have studied the styles we play, but a lot of us actually come from a different thing, and this was a new thing, and this was an opportunity for us to kind of like learn new things, you know, and you know, people like Morgan, who studied in Cuba and West Africa, really grounded us in some traditional stuff. But I think there's like a rock energy to a lot of what we do, and that comes from, you know, like myself, Noah, Eric, even Ryan, and Dan probably too, like playing in rock bands. So like,
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where it's coming from. We're trying to figure out how to bring our own touch to things.
Yeah, cool. There is even in I'll Make Room, I feel like, if I remember right, there is kind of like one guitar part in the background there, kind of a distorted guitar chord that kind of runs all the way through, a little bit of metal homage in there. Yeah, I thought I heard that. So this is the first song, maybe, I don't know if it was the first single from the record. It's the first one I got to hear from the new record called Ghostlight. Comes out this Friday, April 27th. This is Karikatura. And I would normally now ask you, tell me about the next song I'm going to play, but I think we just did that.
You can maybe tell them about the lyrics too.
Yeah, please.
Sure. This is the one I wrote for the record. I just had moved to Inwood as we were working on songs for the new record. So I was just meeting neighbors and asking them who they were, what the stories they wanted to tell. And so it's just like impressions of little things lurking under the surface, learning about the dynamics that are unique and not at all unique about any NYC neighborhood.
Ready?
They didn't find his body for 3 days. It will take a couple weeks for the smell to go away. So Maria told me, yo, you heard about kid got shot late last night around the block. Go look, you see the cops. I'm no lying, pour it all into me, baby, and I make room for you. Pour it all into me, baby, I make room for you. It's nice to see more Europeans moving in this weekend. Bishop said to me, and then she saw my girlfriend. Guess she didn't like her skin, so now she keeps a distance from us. Say pour it all into me, baby, I make room for you. Pour it all into me, baby, I make room for you. Walking sack of karma, I'm soaking up the trauma like a sponge.
Guys, thank you so much. Dude, that is impressive, man. How many octaves in that range? Sounds
How many
4.
octaves? I'm working on 4.
Working on 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the high, like, you know, I don't know about the low, but I don't know how you can go any higher, a higher octave than that, and it would be like we'd have Guinness here for the record books.
I'll keep working on it.
Yeah, all right, cool. So everybody, this is Karikatura. The new album is called Ghostlight, comes out April 27th. That is this Friday. So congratulations on that. We heard 3 songs from that record today, 2 of which are already out, and you can hear them right now. You can go to KarikaturaNYC.com. You can hear those songs there, as well as on various other your favorite streaming services and whatnot. There are also some tour dates to talk about. I know there is, here in New York City, there is a release night show at Come On Everybody in Brooklyn. That's on April 27th. So everyone can go out and see them there. And there are some more dates on KarikaturaNYC.com. So you can check them out there as well. Here is the record.
Very subtle. Very.
There you go.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, lovely, man. Vinyl pressed.
Yeah, it's our first vinyl.
Nice. Yeah, we'll be passing that around here and, you know, taping it. From the vinyl, you know, two cassette tape, if I can.
Did you get it on 8-track
And-
after?
Yeah. Digibeta. I don't know if it's available on Betamax or.
For the Laserdisc.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah, we got the player here.
And you'll share that on Blogspot?
Fax it to me,
And
bro.
live
Just fax it
journal.
to me if you could.
Yeah. So everybody, this is Karikatura. Go check them out on the road. Check them out at KarikaturaNYC.com. Pick up Ghostlight. Comes out this week. Guys, thank you so much for coming to
Thank you.
Paste. Playing in our black box. Come back and play for us again anytime. All right. Yeah. Thank you.